Hi everybody, Rob here out on the back patio, and welcome to this week's Throwback Thursday. This week's story is going to be about a high-speed pursuit that ended with a hot stop in the Central Division's garage. Now, I was working graveyards, and I was working a different beat. I was working the College Avenue area, north of Interstate 8, out towards the east side of San Diego. And you get a call comes out over the radio for a backup unit in a high-speed pursuit for failure to stop for a traffic violation. And these guys were way out on the east side, right on the borderline between us and another department. And I think that was El Cajon on that side, the other side. Can't remember for sure. Anyways, they were out in the Lake Murray area, and they were chasing this guy for some traffic violation. I can't remember what it was, but it was a black male in a, can't remember the type of car it was, but it was basically a pimp mobile. And they were chasing him southbound on Lake Murray Boulevard, and he got on to westbound Interstate 8, and they were calling for a backup unit. And they're really, we're so spread thin out there that I was the only one that could have been a backup unit out in that area. So I dropped down to College Avenue, and I'm sitting there above Interstate 8 watching for them to come westbound, and I was going to just drop in behind them. And sure enough, I see the car being chased, and the guys that are chasing him, they're in one of the brand new Ford Fairmonts that the city had bought us. And I could see them back there, way back, running code 3, trying to catch up to this guy in this big car. It was like something like a Lincoln Continental or Chrysler Imperial or something like that, with a big V8 in it, and had a lot more power than he was running away from him. So I was going to drop down in behind him, and pick up the pursuit and be the lead unit. Well, I didn't take out my brand new Ford Fairmont that was assigned to me. I don't remember exactly why. Maybe it was because I either didn't like them, or maybe the other officer hadn't come back in from being off watch yet, and it wasn't turned in. So I had gone out into the pool cars and picked out one of the Chevy Novas with the 350 and the 4-barrel, which were all being decommissioned. But those were probably the fastest vehicles we had in our fleet, so that's what I was driving that night. So I dropped down in behind him, and we're going along, and I'm keeping up with him. And we're going westbound on 8, and I got the lights and sirens going, and he's looking up in his mirror back at me, and we're going along, and he pulls off the freeway on the off-ramp at Waring Road. So we get up to the top there, and he stops. So I open up the door, jump, throw it in the park, jump out, and I start doing the hot stop, ordering him to turn off the keys or the engine, and all this stuff. Well, he's up there in the front, going down like this, down at his feet. Well, I'm wondering, okay, is he trying to get a gun that's down there on the floorboard or something? So I'm ready for him to come out shooting. And then he sits up, looks at me in the rearview mirror, and I'm ordering him to turn the vehicle off and everything. Well, he drops it back into gear and takes off. So I jump back into my car, drop my car into gear, and off we go again. The chase is on again, westbound Interstate 8. We're going down, and he gets on to southbound 163. Well, I guess the desk sergeant, or maybe it was the sergeant in communications, was monitoring the whole call. It was probably the sergeant in communications. So anyway, CHP comes in to back us up on it, and I get ordered to let CHP take over the pursuit. So I drop off the pursuit and let CHP take the lead, and they're chasing him down southbound 163, and I'm behind the CHP, and we're keeping up with him pretty good. And by now the Ford Fairmont's caught up with us because, we had made that stop up there on Waring Road on the overpass. And so we're going along down there, and the guy's still not yielding, not stopping. He's still going. He gets all the way downtown, pulls off the downtown exit, goes into downtown. We get down to Market Street, and he turns right, goes and blows the first red light. Well, the CHP, they stop for the red light. Me, I check the intersection. I don't see no vehicles. I blow right through the red light. Of course, I threw on my siren back again. So I'm running code 3, and now I take the pursuit back over on Market Street. CHP decides not to continue on because, you know, they're back in the city now, and they stop at every frickin' light. We didn't do that as long as the intersection was clear. And he keeps going westbound on Market, and he starts slowing down. And we're like almost to the Central Division Police Department headquarters on Market Street. He gets down there and he turns on his left turn signal and pulls in the back road that leads behind the police station. And then, you know, so I'm pulling there, and then he turns into the driveway to the parking lot. So I get on the radio and I tell dispatch to warn the supervisor, the desk supervisor at Central Division, that the guy's, you know, coming into the back parking lot, the Central Division. And I still got, you know, a backup unit behind me, and by now we've picked up another unit from downtown. So I tell the downtown unit to swing around to the back side of the garage and block off the exit on that side so he can't get back out that way. And the fool just drives right into the main garage door to the Central Division's garage, which is where we had our main maintenance area, where they did all the repairs and oil changes and tires and all that kind of crap on the vehicles. And he pulls into the central garage, which has another door that leads into the patio area where the desk sergeant and all that is that. The detectives are all there. That's where you pull in and park with your suspects to get your booking slip approved, take them over to the lab if you have to draw blood or do breathalyzer for DUIs, you know, all that kind of thing. Well, he doesn't drive all the way into the patio area. He just stops right in the garage. So, you know, sit there, I jump out of the car, start going through the hot stop routine, ordering him to turn the car off. And, you know, I still got the lights on and the sirens going because I didn't take time to reach and shut the siren off, because I thought the guy was going to be coming out with a gun because he's still reaching down there fooling around with something on the floorboards. Well, he looks up, he sees me, and he hears me yelling at him, you know, to turn the car off. So he reaches over and turns the car off. I want him to throw the keys out the window. He drops the keys out the window. I'm telling him to put his hands up, and about this time, to the right, out the back door, comes the desk sergeant, yelling, "What the hell's going on out here? Why you guys got your sirens going, blah, blah, blah." All of a sudden, the desk sergeant realizes that he just walked right into the middle of a hot stop going down in the garage area. And so he dove for cover over behind a car that was being repaired. And, you know, it just kind of caught everybody off guard. So there was kind of like a little lull in what was going on. You know, and the suspect's sitting there with his hands up. Well, okay, well, what's next? You know, so I ordered him to reach out, you know, and open the door, get out, get down on his knees and walk up and handcuff him and everything. And take him back to my car, pat him down, stick him in the backseat of my car. And, you know, we searched his vehicle. And it turns out that what was on the floorboard that he kept reaching for was a bottle of booze that kept rolling around and getting underneath the way of the accelerator and the brake and everything. So it wasn't a gun that he was grabbing for. So it all turned out okay. So then we had to get his car out of the way. And then I pulled on into the patio area and parked. Went in to talk with the desk sergeant. You know, he's all pissed off, you know, "How come you guys didn't?" I told him, you know, I told dispatch to warn you. You know, they should have told you over the radio that what was going on. You should have known, you know. And he's all pissed off at me because he didn't get any warning about it. He says, well, swears up and down. He was sitting at his desk and nobody told him anything, you know. Next time, you know, you got to let them know. And I kept telling him, well, I did, you know, contact dispatch and ask them. They'll tell you that, you know, I told them that we were coming in there and we were going to be doing a hot stop right there in the garage area. So anyways, you know, I get the guy. He was obviously drunk and had to go ahead and do a field sobriety test, which, of course, he flunked. And was going to be charged with DUI and failure to stop and numerous traffic violations. And his whole thing was he kept arguing with me that, well, I couldn't arrest him because he thought that he had made it to his place of employment, which is National Steel, which is further south on 163. And National Steel was on federal property, so he thought that if he got back to his place of work and got through the gates and got onto federal property, that we couldn't arrest him on federal property. Well, even if he had made it to National Steel and got through the gates and onto federal property, we'd still be able to arrest him because it was a continuing crime and we were in hot pursuit. So there was no big deal. He still could have been arrested for that. And it was just a funny little thing, so hope you all enjoyed the story. Yeah. If you did, hit the like button, give me some comments, and subscribe, and come back again next week for another exciting story. Bye-bye.